Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I found these nail art decorative molds here on Temu. I know people don't like Temu, but I'm pretty sure you can find these everywhere. And this is kind of a little doll with arms and legs that you can put together. And then there is two smaller ones already put together. And I am using some UV resin that is hardening really hard to fill up this mold and make sure every nook and cranny in this little mold has been filled. The one with the heads on, I'm not using that at all because these heads are way too big, but I have what I need in this one. It is kind of shaped like a big long nail, so if you have those long nails you can actually make it so it sits on your nails. I don't like that long nails because I am always crafting and they would just be in the way. So I'm filling up the parts for the big doll and I am filling up the two smaller dolls. I put this one into my UV light first with the open side up, and then I turned it around and gave it again on the other side so I was sure everything was hardened. It is a little sticky, so I need to harden it a tiny bit more, but I am going to glue the parts here on a piece of cardstock so that I have it lying out as the little doll that I want to. And then I am going to make a mold of these three dolls here. I am using a two-part mold putty. You can use silicone or you can use amazing mold putty or some unknown name brand putty. I think most of them will work. And this one is a two-part, so you are mixing one part of A and one part of B, mixing that together, and then I am squeezing it really tightly down over the doll here, making sure everything has been covered, and then I am giving it a little extra on the top so it is a little thicker mold, otherwise it will be annoying to work with later. I waited for around an hour for the molds to harden, and now I am just shoving some clay into the mold. The color is actually that doesn't really matter here because this is not the done result. I am going to change around on these dolls, so I'm just filling the mold to the brim, making sure it is all filled in so I have all the parts of the doll. And when I'm happy with that, I am taking a piece of clay, flatten that out and placing on the back here of my mold. This way it's easier to make a nice flat mold when I am making a new mold of this little doll. When the clay has cooled down, I am taking them out of my mold, and I decided to make another head on this little body, so I actually just cut that head piece off, and then I'm going to make another head with the other mold from the other little dolly. Here I am using some, I call it icing. That is female liquid mixed with some clay, so it is icing-like. And I'm filling up small gaps here and there on all my dolls' bodies until I'm happy with the way it looks. I didn't get enough clay into the feet of the girl before I baked her, so I had to make those feet over. So I placed some more clay into the mold around the feet. Then I cut off the feet of this little girl here. And I also filled the head mold of the little girl. And I baked everything together so that I have what I need for the next mold. I am making a lot of molds here, so I just make sure that this little head of this little guy is fitting really nicely together, and then I am going to glue these together. And I actually placed a piece of tape on the back side, if I'm not remembering wrong, just to make sure everything would stay connected. And this one is not going to bake because every part has been baked. So I just need to have it stick together until the new mold is made. Here I am taking the new feet for the big girl out. I had hoped to make her into a Barbie doll, but she is actually too big. A Barbie doll would be 2.5 centimeters in the height for the 1 to 12 scale, but this one is around 3 centimeters, so she's a bit bigger than a Barbie girl. But I actually wanted to do her anyway. So here I am just placing her feet again with some glue. Then I take one piece of A and one piece of B of my mold putty, and I am mixing that really well together. I am squeezing a tiny piece of my mold putty at the time down over the body of the little doll here. This way I can avoid air bubbles in my mold and I don't have to make a new one. And I'm keeping my mold putty on the inside of that little backing I made of the doll. This way I know I can get a clean mold for making my final doll. I waited for the mold to harden and then I took it off and I made a new piece in the mold just like the other ones, and I baked those, and here is the result, and I'm happy with this result. So this is the mold we're going to use for making dolls.
Subscribe, like, and ring the bell button.
So now we are going to make 2 of the dolls. I'm only making 2 here because I was actually not believing that this would work at this point. I actually almost gave up on this one because it took like forever to come to this place. But I had to just try it out and see if I could do this. So I filled up the mold and I made sure that everything was cut straight off on the backside. And now I am making a head and a cute little bum on this little dolly. I used a long time to sculpt the behind and the back of the head, but do your best, and I don't think it's necessary to make it that good looking because you won't see it when it's all done. I baked my dolls, and when they had cooled down, I'm carefully getting them loosened up and out of the little mold. I took my time with this, and this bigger one actually lost a tiny bit of her feet, but I thought I'm going to give her shoes on anyway, so it doesn't really matter. The little one, be careful with the neck, it can break if you're not careful. And again, I only made 2 of these because I had actually given up on these dolls at this point. I did clean her off a little here and there, but very, very carefully. Then I took some of my bacon bond and I placed on the dolly's heads. I did this one with both of my dolls. And then I took a brown color that I wanted for the hair. This is a caramel, if I'm not remembering wrong. And I just made 2 plates here, one for the front and one for the back. And then I made a square for the top, and then I softened that all out. But again, you can do this just like you want to. And I made some nice, what you call that, lines and stuff like that into that hair here. And I softened, of course, the connection out so you didn't see it as much. Placing a tiny bit more of the clay here at the bottom of her hair so it doesn't look like she is what you call that, without hair at the bottom of the head on the back side here, but I'm just making the hair as I want to. And I'm also going to make a tiny ponytail by rolling a piece of clay so that it is pointy in both ends and thick in the middle, and then I'm placing that on the hair or on the head. I decided to go with a teal colored dress on this girl, so I rolled out a tiny snake of teal colored clay and I wrapped that around the top here of the ponytail so that it looks like a ribbon or something going around that ponytail. So that piece was actually pretty easy to do. And then I made a bunch of lines in the hair, going of course in the direction of normal hair, and I took a long time with this. So when you're happy with this, please go ahead and bake it so that you don't ruin it while making your dress. The little one was a tiny bit easier to make the hairs on. I'm showing you another way here. I am again using some Bake and Bond around the head. And the reason why I am using Bake and Bond and not Fimo Liquid is because Fimo Liquid is kind of like a slippery, slippery, sliding show when you try to put something on, where the Bake and Bond is more like a glue-like thing, so it will stick. And what I do is I'm taking my tool here and I'm just scraping off a tiny bit of my clay and placing that into that Bake and Bond, and then I'm just molding like that, so I get this hairdo that is kind of curly looking at the end. I actually think the result is pretty cute. So you just scrape off some of the clay, place it on the head, and you keep doing that until you're happy with that whole head. And then you go and bake both of these dolls, because you don't want to continue with the hair ready to fall off or be undone if you do something wrong. So go ahead and bake after making the hair. Now it is time for the dress, and for this one I'm again using some Bake and Bond and that teal colored clay rolled out on the, I think it was the second smallest or second thinnest setting on my pasta machine. Then I am just cutting out 2 squares, one for the front and one for the back of her. I am making this one strapless, but you can do the dress all ways you want to. This is just up to your imagination how you want to do the clothing. You can even make pants. I'm going to do that on the little guy. I am making a jumpsuit thingy. But go ahead and design your clothing on these dolls. At this point here, I am starting to actually believe this is going to work and that I'm able to make these small dolls look pretty neat. So I am giving it a little more love and details at this point, because I think this is gonna work. And I will let you decide, did this work for me or not, but wait until you see the done result with deciding. A little strap here to go around the upper arm, just to make it look a little more interesting. This is a very nice little dress she's gonna get here. And again, I was really delicate with the arms, the neck, and the legs, so that I didn't accidentally break one of them loose. But I think she is a little more resilient than I thought she was. For the dress part itself, or the skirt, I started with a nice crisp line, and then I decided for the length and cut a line again. So I'm actually just making one of these long rectangles things, again using a tiny bit of Bake and Bond to make sure everything will stay put when it has been baken. And I'm deciding to start here on the front, the middle piece of that little strip of clay, and then I'm just wrapping it carefully around her tummy. I'm going to try to smoothen out the connection there on the back, and then I'm just making some folds and some indents and stuff like that all the way around her, so that it looks like it has a little more what do you call that, a little more width in that part of the dress. I took my time with this. It's not perfect, but I actually think the end result is pretty neat. Here you can see how I smoothen out the connection on the back side of the dress, and then I made a little fold more here. And when I were happy with the little dress, I placed her in my little baking tray on my ceramic vat, so that it will keep the shape when I'm baking it. If you have the fingers for it and so on, you could make a little bow on the front side, or you could do something else here if you want to, but I decided to keep it simple like this. So that is the little girl's dress. For the little boy, I just took 2 pieces of clay in that rectangle shape, placed that on the front and on the back, and made that legs, panties on him, and it was quite easy to do. Just go ahead and try it out. Maybe you can do this even better than I can. And then again, I had to give this little girl some shoes because her toes were not working. So for that, I rolled out a tiny bead of black clay, and just pushed her feet into that clay. And of course, I used Bic and Bond to make sure everything would stay in place. And then this little girl will go into the oven a last time. So I am going to start with a little white paint and paint the inside of the eyes with white. If you mess it up, you can always wipe it off. I had a mistake first. I cut that out because this video is long enough. But I'm painting the inside of their eyes white to start with. I used a dotting tool to make their eyes light blue. It's a bit tricky on this little boy because he is so small. The bigger little girl, or the little girl is easier because her eyes are a little bigger than his is. I used a tiny pink for their little mouth. I made some white dots on her dress because I thought it was a little boring just in one color. I also gave his little jumpsuit a few dots here and there just to make them look a little more interesting. Off camera, I took a tiny dotting tool, dipped that in black paint, and made that little iris. I did it off camera so that I could concentrate on it and make it right the first time. So that's it for this video. I actually think it ended out pretty good. Tell me what you think. Did I nail it from that little nail art mold to that little dolly here? Or is it not good enough? What do you think? Please tell me in the info box below. Thank you for watching and happy crafting.